Hey everybody, Richie here from RecklessPixel.com, and I got a real quick tip on how to preview footage that was captured with the Mavic in D-Log, and you don't want to look at it in its washed out natural state. But we're not taking it over into like a final edit or anything. This is just for preview purposes. So real quick, let me just get this up. I have Premiere running in the background, but I haven't done anything yet. I just want to preview my files, and I have here, this is right off of the SD card. I captured them this morning, and we're going to use QuickTime to do this. It's a very simple thing. Now, we know, okay, the setup here is I went out and captured some footage to do some cinematic kind of captures flying over a specific farm. So I'm going to open this up, and it's shot in D-Log. It's shot in 4K. So it's basically going to be very, very washed out. And once we get this to open, there we go. Okay, and we bring it down. So there, everybody's familiar with D-Log. Now, if you're, used to flying the Mavic or you're used to editing video, this is below you. But for the new flyers and the people that are new at capturing D-Log, and you just want something to, without applying LUTs, and maybe you don't have Premiere Pro if you're real new and you don't know how to use it or something, this is just, a lot of people have QuickTime. A lot of people have QuickTime, and this is just a way that you can preview. So let me just give you the scenario here. Okay, I have an ND32 filter on because it's very, very bright out. My camera is at 1/30th of a second, which is actually too wide open. I need to be at 1/60th, but that's just where the camera's set at this time. And I'm getting ready to take off, and you're going to see me change the camera as I get up. But before we do that, let's just hit Control K. And I don't know what the shortcut is on a Mac, I'm sorry, but Control K opens up, and you can find it up here as well under Window. If you click under Window, it will say, well, now it says Hide AV, but it'll say Show AV Controls, Control K. So all you have to do to get this to look somewhat better than it is for preview purposes is hover. I'm not clicking, I'm hovering, and then I'm just going to scroll. And I'm using a trackball, but I just have a scroll wheel like anybody else. And look what happens when I add the contrast. Now, it doesn't do anything about sharpening or anything like that, but it's adding contrast that makes my video just a little more pleasing for preview purposes for myself, and also for preview purposes if I was showing it to someone else. Now let's go ahead and take off and get up in the air here. And you're going to see the Mavic lift up. This is a short clip, it's not too long. Okay, just in time too, because as you can see, there was a car coming in the driveway. I thought I would be there all alone. So as we get up, let me move my slider back to normal, and you can see once I get up where the sun is actually shining and everything's bright, I'm really, really washed out. Now, I told you I am going to adjust my camera here in a minute. You're going to, in a few seconds actually, you're going to see the image start to darken from the adjustment of the camera. And that will come in. Let me fast forward to right about here. You're going to see I get set up. I'm getting ready to fly over into this direction right here. And right about here, I start to change my shutter speed on my camera. So there we go, where that's like 50th and now 60th, and I'm going to keep it right there. I don't think I went any further than that. Okay, so now I'm at 1/60th, and now let's just add the contrast that we did earlier. And you can kind of see how for just preview purposes, this looks a lot better. Now you can go up here, losing my voice here. You can go up here and move the brightness. That does a little bit, but I mean, it does darken it, but it doesn't really do too much more than just adding that contrast. If you did need to add color, this is more of a saturation slider than anything. I usually don't mess with that because I'm just wanting to make this so I can preview it, or maybe if I want to get something up to social media real quick, or I want to show it to somebody real quick without opening up Premiere Pro. This is how I do it. Now if you do want to save a version of this, that's very easy to do. Just I'm going to click Save As, and if I click Save As, I will put a suffix on it here so I know it's separate from the other clip, and it's going to save it in my movies, and it doesn't take too long to save. You know, it depends on how big your file is, but you can see it says flattening image. It's moving along pretty quick. And okay, so now it brings us back to our opening scene with the settings still applied. And if I close it, it's not going to be here because I didn't want to save it to the SD card. But if we go over here and let's see exactly right there, and if we open it up again, we have our settings applied, and it still hasn't affected my regular clip because I put a suffix on the end of it. That's why I hit Save As. If you just hit Save, you might have a problem. You might ruin, you know, you'll probably ruin, you'll overwrite your original clip. So there it is. That's my real quick tip on how to preview D-Log footage captured with the Mavic, and you're doing it in QuickTime. And I think just about everybody has QuickTime. It's a very easy program to use, very user-friendly, and it's not going to be for a final edit, at least for me. I'm out to capture cinematic stuff, but for just preview purposes, this is it. Hey, hit like, hit subscribe. I'm also going to be a little bit later here doing an update on my Mavic. I've been doing updates along, telling people, mostly my friends and everything, and other guys that I know that, you know, fly the Mavic, just my update on what my thoughts and the little different gear that I'm using. I got a new gimbal lock, things like that. So check out that video.